Touchdown, West Philly!
A chance for the Chargers, and they score!
In the front, Fuzzy again!
It would help if I turned the volume up.
Yes, turn the
Good morning,
volume.
Listen, Ken.
Yes, I'm listening.
No, you're not on camera yet, so no comments from the peanut gallery, okay?
I just was going to check the little knobs over there turn to the right.
They're sliders. Thank you very
all right,
much.
then sliders would go
They're
up.
sliders. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
After you've been here a while, you'll get to know how to do that. All right. Don't worry about it.
20 years, Ken.
You'll be fine.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Breakfast with Ken and Ben. Let me introduce so many people at the table. These are the most guests that we've had so far on this show. I know you're very excited. I can tell.
Record, yep.
We obviously, let's start with the legend, Ken Collins.
Morning.
Yeah,
good morning.
Thank you for being here, as always. I mean, I know that you have to be, but not because of me or like that you're contractually obligated to be. But right. Hazel would just throw you out if you didn't get out of the house.
That contract is you can't break that one.
No. So well, there's one way.
Well,
there's one way.
Yeah.
Do us part. Anyway, we are joined today by the people that wrote this book that we were reading through yesterday. And that is for the Next Up Music Festival 2025, which will be taking place in September, right? September 6th.
Correct.
And we are here with Vanessa Harwood and the Liverpool legend, Tommy Stafford.
That's right.
How are you, Tommy?
Good. Thank you very much. Thanks very much for inviting us.
Well, thank you for being here. So tell us a little bit about Next Up Music. And we also will be joined at some point by Big Lux, who will be joining us at some point via the internet. So Vanessa, Tommy, what's going on with this?
Well, if I could interject, and I'll give you the build-up.
Not only could you interject, that's literally what you're here for.
Well, thank you very much. Well, what happened is a good friend of mine asked me if he could put his son on my show at WBLQ, The Time Machine, and in order to get him acquainted with interviews and such like. And he was 14-year-old Jake Harwood. And I said, well, send me some of his music. So he sent me some of his music, and I got the music, and I was very, very impressed with his skills in playing the guitar. Absolutely outstanding. It reminded me immediately of Van Halen.
That is high praise.
It really is. You gotta see him and hear him to believe that. But I also had visions of Eric Clapton and maybe a little bit of Jimi Hendrix. He's that good. He's 14 years old, and he's that good.
Wow.
But
I'm assuming no relation.
Right. Yeah. Also
well, he is also two lead guitarists for a group called Loose.
Yes.
And I've heard them too, and they make a really sweet sound. So anyway, I decided to bring him in, and I called my friend up and brought him in, and the interview was good. It was very good, very respectful young man, and you got a lot to be proud of there with him. A very respectful young man, had unbelievable knowledge about the music business, and he began to tell me all about the Next Up and Big Lux and all the rest of it. So I thought, well, this is the fourth time that they will have Next Up Big Music Festival.
Really?
And I was like you. I thought, well, how come I never knew about that? And I'm saying, well, there might be an issue with breaking barriers down in order to get exposure. So I said, well, I can help these people. So anyway, we spoke on the interview and everything else. And in the meantime, I got a lovely email from his mum, and she thanked me very much. And I thought it was very, very nice and very touching to get an email like that, showing appreciation for, giving opportunities to her son. So I wrote back, and the rest was history. And we pulled some chords for her and pointed her in the right directions as to what to do and how to do certain things. And we're here today to tell you all about the Next Up Music Festival.
Well, that is incredible. That's a fantastic story. You must be so proud of the person that I'm sure you have no relation to.
Yes, exactly. We're so proud of Jacob, and I cannot even begin to thank the man across the table here, Tommy. He's been just incredible. I need to put him on the board, and next up, he's been working so hard for us over the last couple weeks. But yeah, Jake is extremely passionate, hardworking, talented guitarist. But what I'm noticing is Jake is just one of many of the rising stars. I think coming up through several places, but the United Theater Music Program has been just an incredible force in this town. It's been here for a couple years now, and Tom Foley, Nancy, they have just cultivated this extremely amazing culture where the kids are just thriving. They're being so creative. So all of these kids are kind of coming up, and they're all making bands, and they're all playing with each other. And the Next Up Festival, yes, it's been around now for a couple of years. Big Lux and Tom Gamache really started in 2022, I think, to try to put a festival together, in Wilcox Park that really highlighted up and coming artists. And then the following year, they started to ask some of the young bands to play. And so 2023, 2024, we had all these kind of kids coming to the festival. And that's when Lux said, this is something, we want to put Next Up Music Inc. together as a nonprofit to support kids in music. So that's really where
speaking of, I wonder if I can use some movie magic to get Big Lux here with us right now. So Ken, could you do me a favor? I think that you have the magic. Could you snap your fingers for me?
I'll slap my eyes off.
Hey, Kevin! How are you, buddy?
How are you doing? I'm fantastic, and and Vanessa, you're absolutely telling the story. I love it. I love it.
You can take over anytime, Lux.
All yours.
Just started.
You know what's impressive though? If you read the details on Next, there's been a lot of thought devoted to this. Because it reaches into depths that you wouldn't even think about. Anxiety with young people.
Oh.
Now, that's a big factor when they're on stage, that they've got to perform in front of a lot of people. And, how would you deal with that?
Yeah.
Well, you guys, absolutely brilliant the way you've come up with this. And, I just said to Ben, how come I never knew about it?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's my side gig, I'm an assistant professor in the Department of Communication Disorders at URI. I'm not a psychologist, that's for sure, but I do some work with kids, and I read a lot of the literature, and that's 100%. There's a rise in anxiety and depression in our teens. And I think a lot of going back to basics and getting kids into the arts is a really important thing. I see it with Jake. I see it with the band. It's not easy being in a band. They have to compromise and work together. They have to perform. They don't have a coach. They don't have, they do this together. So the mentorship provided, I think, through Next Up, just to feel that the community is behind them and giving them these opportunities. Like for Jake, I get teary. Lux is his hero. Like it's, he's
a good hero.
He's a good
hero to have.
It's really impressive, and the kids feel it. I know Lux is going to talk about the music industry. It's not easy, to get in. I worry about Jake, moving forward. I know it's not easy, but I feel like, with good mentors and knowledge,
Well, I said to Jake when I interviewed him, I said, the most important thing you've got, and he kind of knew what I was getting to. I said, is don't change you. Don't try and be somebody else. Just be you. He says, I know that. And he said, and I concentrate on that, which I thought it was good.
Yeah.
And he shows a lot of good maturity in his approach towards the music business, I think.
Thank
so
you.
I think his particular situation is he's with a group and everything. Don't stop at the group, but branch out on your own as an individual, and you can be as big as I think the guy who plays the guitar with Eric Clapton, Goth, I think his name is, or something like that. But there's a few of them around, and they've got big reputations, and I think that he could be definitely earmarked for something like that.
Wow. And I mean, coming from Tommy, that's huge praise, because you have been around music your entire life. You grew up in England, in Liverpool. I am correct, right? In that,
you're absolutely
I remember
correct.
from our days having conversations before your stint, before your daily stint on the Time Machine, like it would, like, I mean, I don't mean before you were doing the Time Machine. I mean right before you went on.
Yeah, right before I went on the air.
Right before you went on the air.
I took over from Joe.
When you took over from Joe Tasca. Joe Tasca and Tom Foley, two names that should be banned on this channel, just because of personal. We don't need to give them any more shine than they already have.
Joe's one. Joe works with PBS.
I see.
Yes.
Wow.
But you you grew up in the heyday of that music.
Yep.
And so when you've been doing this for such a long time, like when you see this talent and you, like, he's not blowing smoke, and he does, these praises don't come easy, and that's huge. So very, very cool. Lux, good to see you, man.
Hey, great to see you, Ben. It's it's good to be here.
Now, DJ Gadget the other day mentioned to me that she was like, yeah, I want to, like, somehow be involved in the Big Lux Music Festival. And I was like, there's a Big Lux Music Festival? And she was like, yeah, it's like the fourth one. And I was like, he's done 4 music festivals and I don't know about this. And then Ken slid me over this magazine of a press release, and I was like, oh, this is what she was talking about. So
I was shocked to find out that you didn't know about that.
I didn't know about it. And so now, to be fair, Tom Foley may have mentioned it to me at some point, and I just let it go in one ear out the other.
You don't pay attention when he talks to you.
When he talks, no, I can't.
Okay.
I can't.
My wife says I don't listen. At least I think that's what she said. Sorry about that.
So Kevin, tell us from your perspective about this.
Yeah. I mean, I think just you saying that gives a feeling of like the challenge in a nutshell, to build a new institution in this town, because there are so many well-established events between the Pops, Fall Fest, Spring Fest, like 12th Night, like you have all of these different institutions, the Chamber, of course Westerly, and now the United, and it's a really rich tapestry of things that happen in this town and the culture that we're building. And so, sometimes it's a little bit difficult to get heard in the noise, but that's a beautiful thing too. I think we saw a real niche and a real need, because it was just really difficult for artists who are getting started to go from the basement or just hanging out with their friends and figuring it out to getting booked at some of the the prestige events that we have in this town. It's just a really difficult leap to make, and there's not very many people who can help you figure out how to make that leap. And
So true.
you know, I grew up in an era. I went to Wesley High School. I graduated there in 2000. When we just had a powerhouse music program between Mr. Collins and Dave DeAngelis, some absolutely fantastic music educators gave us a world-class music education, and we're seeing the fruits of that world-class education, 25 years later, because now all of the people who went through that program, the Tom Foley's, the Mike Chikorias, the Ryan Piccolos, and I guess I'll include myself in that group, the Andrew Howells, are all come back and now lead all of these arts institutions in the town. And
Absolutely.
and it's just absolutely incredible to think that like all of us basically went to that school within like a 3-year period. We all graduated with like 3 years of each other, and so we had this incredible opportunity to get this great education. And so we really all want to give back to the community, and we really want to show what it's like when you have like a world-class music education and what that can do for kids and how it can change lives. So I'm really, really on fire for this. And so, being able to do this festival and being able to provide that experience for kids and for the community is something I feel like really, really strongly about. It's been an absolute dream having amazing people like Vanessa Harwood sign on and be a part of this project has made this thing really go and have legs. And then, of course, you're talking about, your son Jake and a lot of these talented kids out there. Like, it is absolutely phenomenal, the culture that is being built up, like I said, between some of these institutions, United and, of course, Westerly, and like just the amount of talent that you see on an open mic, on a Youth on the Mic on a Sunday at the Knickerbocker is absolutely incredible. And I love the energy that we have in this town for music right now. I think it's going to be an amazing thing for the town for a long time to come. If
as you said there, Big Lux, we're very fortunate because we've got all this talent in our own backyard. And I think that's incredible. In fact, I think I'll rename the town Liverpool.
All right. Well, we got we've already got the Nashville North thing going on, and now we're okay. So listen, Tommy, you do whatever you want to do, man. Kevin, or Big Lux, my apologies. The one of the things that stood out to me when you mentioned all of those names. And by the way, Mike Chikoria also on the banned list for BANNED banned list for mentioning on 321. I love Mike. Is that those are people that have gone into careers in music in one form or another that have come through these great music programs in Westerly. That's not even to mention all of the people that have come through these great music programs and taken the lessons that they learned in teamwork and leadership and all of those things that Tommy was talking about before, and then used them for whatever else that they may go into in the future, whether it not be music. One of the success stories that I always think about with that coming through the Westerly High School music program and theater program was Jamie Silvestri, who, president of the town council for a long time, 2024 Ocean Community Chamber Citizen of the Year, multiple business owner in town, like great stand-up guy, does nothing really with music anymore, but that was a foundational part of growing up. And, those are some of the things, like, no matter what you do, this is an integral part of the learning process. So I think this is so cool, man. I love everything that you guys are doing. I'm so glad that I do know about this now. And so what is next? Like, what are you guys looking for? We're about 4 months away from the event. What's going on?
album release.
So,
Yeah, Lux, you take it.
well, I'm gonna let you can talk about your. We're both. We have a couple of different events that are kind of leading up into the festival. But just to give you kind of like just a broad strokes where we are, we're really close to selecting the artists and having the lineup announced for the festival, which we plan to do in May. But in anticipation of that, we've taken on a project that was a little bit crazy when we thought about it, but we realized that we're a young organization, we need to raise some funds, but we wanted to do it in a way that would be kind of beneficial and would be be related to our mission. And so we decided that we wanted to release an album as an organization and solicit demos from the kids so that we could get them into the studio. The ones that hadn't been in the studio and record before, we would get them some studio time. And then we would kind of counsel them through the process of, this is how you set up distribution. This is how you set up your splits for streaming services. This is how you set up for, a PRO and get set up additional streams of income. And so really kind of, teach them the process of being musicians and making that work, while at the same time getting us a product that we can use to, sell as a fundraiser, as a physical album. We got an amazing donor who donated us like 100 copies of vinyl so that we can burn some vinyl albums, and then we can, set up the album online on streaming services as well. And we're going to be at Patty's on the 31st of May, Patty's Tiki Beach. And all of the artists that are on the album are going to be performing out there. It's going to be an absolutely incredible event. We really want to see as many people there as possible to see and support this talent and and help us to get our feet under us for financially for the festival. And then, Vanessa also has we have other potential events in the works. I don't know, Vanessa, you want to talk about the festival or any other potential events that we're doing?
Yeah, before I can talk about a couple other fundraisers that we might have, kind of in our pockets, but I want to talk just really briefly about the experience of the kids going into the studio and learn. And so it was an amazing process. And, Lux was able to, get other folks on board. So we had Bob Cowley, who was the, the sound technician at Foxwoods and MGM. I hope I'm saying this right. For so many years, he's, taking on this time. He gets the kids all into the studio. And this was the first time Jake had really been in a studio and getting feedback about his music. And, the drummers got to play more in time with the bass, and maybe we should cut this out and that kind of stuff. And, the kids were all like, and it was amazing. And they worked together and they had this amazing demo now that's going to go on, to a kind of a compilation album with, other professional artists that, are going to be able to kind of launch it. That's such a different process than the kids in their basement trying to, record on GarageBand or whatever, and then just uploading it to, Spotify. So
Bob Cowley has a beautiful studio too, by the way. I remember walking into that place when I was 17 years old, and we were it wasn't for music. We actually made a film very illegally of
I've been there, bro. I've been there.
The first
The real band's coming out now.
the first
Talking.
the first play that we ever did that Dave and I did 20 years ago this year. So it was 20 years ago this year. I met Bob Cowley. We did the play 12 Angry Men, and the opening scene of it takes place in a courtroom, and then which for like 3 minutes, right? For like a monologue, maybe even less. And then the rest of it takes place in one room. So we decided we wanted to film it. And the people at the town hall were nice enough to let us use the Westerly Municipal Court. And we shot the whole thing in black and white. And we did it so that we would play the movie scene, and then the screen would open on the set. And it was really cool. And it was like so advanced to do for 17-year-olds. And Dave was 16. Dave DeAngelis was 16. the son, obviously not the music teacher, and it was so cool that we were like, let's make the entire movie with high school kids mostly, which is very illegal and dumb. You can't just remake a classic movie like that. And so we did it. We filmed the entire movie, and then Kurt Dumas, who is a fantastic drummer and composer and a really good friend of ours who filmed it, he knew Bob Cowley, and Bob let us into his studio and taught us how to edit video. So Bob Cowley 20 years ago taught us how to edit video. So very, very cool, kind of full circle moment. I don't think I've ever told that story. Definitely haven't told the illegal part of it. We also did The Odd Couple the same way. About 6 months later, we filmed the entire thing. Never put that movie together, but both of the movies were terrible, by the way.
Yeah.
No fault of Bob
Amazing.
Cowley.
Yeah.
These are Westerly legends, and it's really like this synergy of people just giving back, and it's really amazing. People are, I just see it within the kids that everybody benefits. And to plug a couple of the other fundraisers that we have going on. So again, the whole community just kind of coming together. The Westerly Yacht Club is going to be able to give us some space on July 31st, and we're still working out the logistics, but we think we're going to do an Old Vegas night there, and proceeds go to Next Up. Maybe Jane Lewis is trying to work something out with the Granite Theater. So yeah, it's pretty amazing. And I did, talking about these amazing music teachers, right? That, Lux has had, and Mr. DeAngelis, I mean, that name, it brings tears to my eyes. He was such an incredible man. I remember I graduated class of 1998. So I am an old lady. I'm older than my board members. But I will tell you now, talking about the Westerly High School music program, Miss Sarah Ferry is a force to be reckoned with. And she, once again, is, they're getting it from the United Theater. They're getting it at the high school. She is an incredibly dedicated music teacher. And I don't know if you've seen the halftime show. They are like phenomenal. And it's just another place where the kids are really growing in music.
When I first heard about this and read up on it and did some research on it, it so reminded me of the college that Paul McCartney set up in Liverpool called LIPA.
Oh, cool.
And it has so many similarities about this to his. And I thought, well, this has got to be a winner. It's got to be a winner, and it's going to be bigger than people think it is. He has a university, he has a college, and he graduates people too. And he goes and does the graduation and such like. But it reminds me so much of that. And I think the thinking behind this organization is absolutely solid. It really is. It's a tribute to Big Lux and you and the rest of the people that put it together. So congratulations.
Thank you. That's kind.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Kevin, you got the donuts?
I
We got them here.
Yeah, you actually brought tears to my eye when you said the thing about Mr. DeAngelis. It actually but just
Yeah.
mentor and father figure, and just very meaningful.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna probably watch a video after this of Dave, little Dave. Little, he's 37, and my best friend, and the guy that I was talking about making that movie with. But man, that video of Dave and Mike Chicoria, whose name is banned, and I said it again, and Big Lux playing "I'll Fly Away" outside the Cali Club at his funeral, just like literally Kevin, I love you, man. You're a great guy, and I'm so excited for this festival. What can we do to help other than just getting the word out? What can people do to help?
I mean,
Alcohol is not free.
yeah, for real. Vanessa's been pounding the pavement more than anybody, so I'm gonna let her. I'm gonna let her take this one.
Is that okay to say? We are a grassroots organization, a lot of heart, and the community has been incredible. So we are on a sponsorship campaign. We have reached out to many extremely generous local businesses. I can't tell you the folks down here, Wildflower Kids and Pooch's Poorhouse and Bella Vita. It's just amazing. Now Anna at Woody's. And so we're just, I could go on and on, but we need support, we need help, we need donations. That's going to help. We're a free festival. We want everything to be free to the public. So that means when we get vendors in and everything, we need to, support them, and our artists and sound and, media, the whole piece. So, Lux, did I do it? I think that, sponsorship is going to be an important piece to this. So.
Yeah, I mean, and there's many legs to it. The sponsorship for companies is great. I think we have really good partners, and we try to put them in a good position, and we really honor them. So we'd love to have that, but also individual donors. We would love to get people to our website, nextupmusicri.com. If that's something that you can promote, and we shows our services and what we do and our events.
.org.
Oh God!
To keep it all straight.
This is what happens when you catch me before 9 a.m. I knew I was going to mess that up. Nextupmusicri.org. And then attendance at our events. Again, and it's not a chore. Believe me, we are going to have an amazing time at this album release party on the beach, like kicking off the summer. I think it's going to be the best event of the late spring, early summer in this town, because we've never really seen anything like that. We're going to roll out the red carpet, have the photographers, and have these kids and young artists out there, just super proud of the work that they've done, and to play in like kind of like a festival like environment like that. I love the Tiki Beach. It is it's amazing. And we usually like locals, we don't really perform there as much during the summer. They bring in a lot of artists from New York and outside the community. So us really getting to play there is something special. And so supporting events is the other big thing. And for anybody who's got kids who knows young artists, have them go to the website and reach out to us and see how we can help them with their careers. If they need mentorship, we are going to have scholarship applications opening soon, to provide even more support for the community. So. Yeah, we're doing a lot of things, and we just would like people to stay engaged with us and reach out to us and see what we can do.
Have you thought about hitting the fraternities and organizations within the town of Westerly?
That's a great idea. I mean, there's definitely a lot of great cultural institutions.
The Masons, the Eagles.
The Eagles, yeah. Yeah, that's a fantastic idea. I mean, we're trying to build formal relationships between other nonprofit entities. I mean, our first one was clearly with United. They needed to be a partner in this to make it happen. I think they give us a little bit of legitimacy. Say that again.
I say United Theaters is a fantastic organization.
Of course. It is without a doubt world class, and it's a great recommendation to make some of these other links with other well-established philanthropic and cultural institutions in the town, because there's a lot.
If it was me, and to be honest with you, I'm not trying to tell you what to do, but I think I would have approached Taylor Swift and asked her if she would be like a patron to the organization, and it, in a way, it gives it a little bit of more credibility. It makes people sit up and listen and take note.
Tommy, this is your camera
Yes.
right here.
Yeah.
Taylor.
Turn to it. Make the plea. Go ahead. She watches the show. She's a big fan of Ken.
No, seriously, I stop at nothing. I'll be honest with you. I stop at nothing, and I have a good reputation of getting things done, and I would do that because she is so good with kids.
Yeah,
and that's one of her biggest traits. She recognizes kids. She recognizes kids. Even walking through a crowd, she'll see a kid with one of those Friends bracelets or whatever, and stop and go over and talk to the kid.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I think that's a real quality in that girl.
for
Yeah.
sure.
And I will be honest, I've been trying to reach out to musicians that have made it, that are, that have made it, that have lived in Rhode Island or coming. And, Vanessa Carlton has a house in Rhode Island, and Elle King has a house in Rhode Island. And, these are folks that, I've been writing to them formal letters, and I know it's hard to get your voice out there, but just saying, these kids have a dream. And of course, every young artist, they have a dream. And, it's recognizing that, I think, and going back to look at, wow, that was me a million years ago. Maybe, we can do something to help, help kids. So
That's wonderful.
yeah.
Keep doing it. Someone
You never
will,
know.
Yeah, someone
Right?
will, someone will respond
Yeah.
for sure.
Well, sometimes that's what happens too.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
like what Tommy said. And Taylor Swift. Maybe maybe that is the thing that would
What could she say? No.
exactly.
I know.
But this might be the time. Sure, I'd
know,
love to do that.
And if somebody can get your exposure, she's definitely the girl.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She's
no doubt
definitely the
about
woman,
that. Yeah.
But I wouldn't stop at anything. I would. If I was you guys, I would go for it.
Okay.
Like
I
you
love
said-
you, Taylor. Call me. That's what I'm going
Like
to
you
say.
said, all she could say is no.
Absolutely. Well, this I'm not wrapping you guys up, but this has been fantastic. The music festival is September 6th. There's a whole bunch of stuff ahead of it, and like I said, I'm not wrapping you guys up. What I want to say is that we are happy to advertise anything you need. So 321 will advertise anything that you guys need for the show, for the actual festival. During the month of August and the beginning of September, we'll be happy to do that, and also all of the fundraisers. We work with Patty's, so we'll definitely promote that, and also our sister station, Weirdsterly, with the wonderfully weird DJ Gadget,
That's awesome.
has volunteered to they dedicate their entire station to local music, and it doesn't have to just be local to Westerly, but to young bands that haven't made it yet, and local wherever that may be. And I know that she would love to play the album with your kids on it, and add that to the rotation on their radio station, and then also stream live that day. Not maybe not the performances, because we want people to go to the show, but stream live from the festival in September.
Oh,
So
cool.
the partnership between 321 and Weirdsterly, we're happy to donate all of that to Next Up.
They just want everybody talking
Thank
about
you.
it.
Yeah,
Thank
absolutely.
You, Ben.
Thank
That's so generous of
Oh,
you.
that's-
Thank you.
that's-
That's incredible.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
But it sounds great, and I put it well. I always said that you meet the stars of the future today.
Yeah.
There you go.
And that's basically what it is.
Well, I don't want to give that kid too big of a head because he still has to clean his room,
Yep.
take out the laundry,
Hey, yours,
yeah,
Mom?
take out the garbage.
No, he's gonna take out his laundry. He's gonna take out his
Yakety
laundry.
yak.
I'm kidding.
No, I know.
He's got
I know.
to
I know.
Well, he's the
all
he's the next
kids.
Jimi Hendrix. So
yeah.
You will
Yeah.
be.
you know.
I'll guarantee you will.
That's amazing. That's fantastic. Kevin, I have a question for you.
Sure.
This is a personal question.
Should we read the room?
No. I need you guys can weigh in on it as well. Over the weekend, Ken gifted me something very special, and I want your opinion on it, Kevin, because you're someone who
was waiting
I
for it.
respect.
I was waiting.
Yeah. So Kevin,
Oh yeah.
Yes. Yes.
What do you think?
Oh
That is what's. Oh man,
Isn't it?
I'm a hat man. I'm a hat man.
Yeah.
So like, y'all
That's
don't even shoot. Come on, like within an arm's reach. Not even playing. Like this is amazing. I love it. I love the look,
I
bro.
love
You can rock it. Do whatever you might want to put like a little tilt on it. You know, like.
There we go.
Don't you think, Kevin? He has a little look of Leonard Cohen about him.
Yeah, there it goes.
Yeah,
There it
Henry has
goes.
talent.
What a gift. I love it.
Is me
With
hat,
the
me
glasses
head's
and
coming.
everything.
See?
There we
See,
go.
you become like a whole new person. It starts like a whole new personality. Like you start walking around in a hat, and people really notice. It's been it's wild. So, you wear it well. That's a great gift. I think I think it's a great pairing.
Thank you.
10 out of 10.
Yeah, absolutely. Kevin, you should get a matching one. Toscano's Men's Shop, 9 Canal Street. downtown. You know what? I'll leave it on for the rest
Well,
of the show.
I was wondering why it wasn't on this.
You were
morning.
wondering why it wasn't on this
Yes,
morning. I was
absolutely.
saving it for the right moment
Oh, it was
to
perfect.
ask Big Lux.
Definitely better than the Red Sox, too, because I'm a Yankees fan.
Hey.
You a Yankee fan?
Oh, yeah.
Uh-oh.
Oh, come on.
Sorry. It's Butch who blamed my husband.
Come on.
But we said that Saturday. That
Yeah,
when he put that hat on,
That's
that was it.
that's it.
Well,
Yeah.
so thank you, Ken. Thank you Toscano's Men's Shop. So
Yeah.
thank you, Paulie, and thank you, John Parenti, because John Parenti's the one that picked this one off the shelf
Right.
and threw it on my head as a joke.
We even got one for him too.
So yeah, yep. Anyway, let's talk back about the music festival.
By the way, these guys are invited in anytime. Right?
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
you.
anytime to
Oh, thank you.
talk about it.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I'm sure, Tommy, you're going to do everything that you can to promote.
Oh,
this as well
absolutely.
over on
The
WBLQ.
wheels are already well in motion.
Yeah, and we'll take any suggestions. If we have anything to do with it, it's going to become the best music festival in the country.
Yeah.
Dare I say?
Why not?
Why not? Why not think big, right?
Sure.
So it's just it comes from humble beginnings, but we hope to have vendors there that to bring in folks to make it have that rock and roll hip hop vibe with hair and henna and body art and all those kinds of fun things. We hope to have the presence of all the amazing music programs that we have. So the United Theater and Westfield High School music programs, a presence there. We're working on food and just a bunch of things. So families come down to celebrate that day. And of course, the highlight, the crown jewels, is going to be the music. So,
Well, this is a great community, great giving
really is.
community, and once the word gets out, I can't see where it will not be a success, really, and people will support it.
Yeah.
I believe.
we want
I think so
families
too.
to come
Yeah,
out.
it's a great thing,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do. It's the way it's
especially the way things are going on in the world right now. I mean,
yeah,
this is great, really.
yeah.
You're offering a great opportunity for these guys.
I think it's a wonderful opportunity for these kids
Mm.
to link up and give them a goal to shoot for.
Yep.
And you can't go wrong with the way it's structured, because they've got mentorship, they got good advice when they're performing. I spoke about anxiety before, which is a big crucial situation with young people.
Absolutely.
Because they're always scared of letting themselves down or exposing themselves before their peers on their weaknesses, but they don't need to worry about that. Who cares? They get up there, perform, and the rest.
And the coolest thing I think that I see with the bands and some of the young artists, that if you came down to that Youth on the Mic at the United, those kids are all supporting each other, which is incredible. I mean, like, one band will go up and then the other band will be down dancing and cheering, and it's such a cool vibe.
I know, and that's really crazy, because when I was in high school in battles of the bands, I booed the other kids. I'm kidding. No one ever let me
Truth is coming out, Kenny. You know what?
I'm kidding. No one ever let me near a microphone until I started a company myself.
I knew a guy. His name was Joe, and he was the first booking agent for the Beatles.
Oh.
And he would tell me about stories about the way John Lennon and the Beatles would help other groups. And it was a similar situation, because in Liverpool, you could go out every night of the week and go and have, to a dance, see the groups, see the Beatles, see the Surges, the Hollies sometimes, the Swingin' Blue Jeans. And you could go out any night of the week and go to a dance. But they always helped out other groups. Like, when I failed one night, and Joe Flanagan was the booking agent, and he asked John Lennon if he could lend him an amp, and he said absolutely. So there was that willingness. So I can relate to what you're saying there.
I say it all the time. We have Big Lux. He doesn't even have Little Luxes yet. He's just one Big Lux, and he's putting all of his, he's put so much time and energy. I hope that was okay to say.
We'll see what Teresa says about that.
And so the musical community this is new to, I think, me and my husband and everything. Has been so generous and open and supportive. It's incredible. Mm-hmm. So to feel like, the support from so many different angles and so many different groups is it's really, really special. And I think that is going to be the X factor in really just creating this incredible scene.
Yeah, well said.
I do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's so fantastic to be a part of doing something that builds the community. Like, it's not often that I feel like we get to be at the beginning of an institution and being part of like a foundational story of something. But everybody who's been to this festival, I think the last 3 years, they've gotten to kind of see this little kind of underground community that we've been building, and have been able to be a part of it at the ground level, and see what it's like to get something going in this town. And I think it's really exciting in this era where sometimes it feels like everything is already built. The streets are already all named. Like, where is our new adventure going to come from, and what is the next thing going to be? And to still figure out ways to kind of be on the advancing edge of something that's happening. For me, it's been a really been really rewarding, and been really rewarding to see that community build. And so I really want as many people to kind of see it, especially at its infancy as possible, because you're like, oh, this is going to be the most pure version of it if it becomes successful later, it's going to be great. It's going to be like a really big festival, but people won't know. They won't know that we had the first one in the gazebo in the park, and it rained, and people stayed through the rain. Like we had like the first festival, we had like 150 people staying while it was raining, while my band was just like playing under the gazebo, and it was just like memories like that. I mean, that's kind of what we're here to build. And so yeah, I want to see everybody to see it while it's still at this stage, because
Please tell me we have a rain date this year. We have a rain date.
We have
Thank
a rain
you.
date on Sunday. We have a rain date. So this festival's on Saturday the 6th. The rain date is on the
Okay.
7th. We learned our lessons early.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
On the music festival, what time does that start?
2
2 p.m. 2 p.m.
Yeah. Now, what about the album release party?
Also at 2 p.m. Consistency.
Yeah, the album release at Patty's on May 31st will start at 2 p.m.
2 p.m.
2 p.m.
Great.
2.
2
Good.
p.m.
Just only one thing to remember.
All right. 2
Yeah.
p.m.
And the festival on September 6th, it starts at 2, and we usually wrap up about 9 or 10, I think, with the headliners going on at the end.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Cool. Sounds like
Yeah.
This is awesome. Yeah.
Sounds like a great plan.
This is so cool, guys. Well, thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate it. Lux, anything you want to say before we go?
So everybody rock on. Like I really appreciate you all for having us and helping us get the word out. Yeah, just anybody who wants to be involved with this organization or festival, please go to the right website. Not what I told you all.
You want to tell me the web?
Mixupmusicri.org. And thank you to all of our past sponsors. Vanessa mentioned a few, also PPG and Westerly Children's Dental and Serve Pro and Gray Sale. Thank you all from the bottom of our hearts for helping make last year happen.
Can we
right.
give the webpage out?
Yeah, it's www.nextupmusicri.org.
.org. And
Yep,
also to
it's-
the secretary of the organization, Vanessa Howard, at nextupmusicri.org. And if you need to talk to them by phone, it's 401-932-0584.
That's it.
Perfect.
Yeah. Taylor, text me.
Yes.
I got it.
0584 was my aunt and uncle's telephone number
Nice.
growing up. My I don't want to say my favorite aunt and uncle, but wink wink. The one at least. Anyway, thank you guys so much. Yeah, the address for the website is on the screen right now, nextupmusicri.org. Kevin, thank you so much for being here, man. We'll let you try to get back to sleep.
Got class.
I got class now. I'm not going to bed.
All right. Sorry about that, man. Thank you so much for being here.
You're good. Thanks for having us.
Pleasure, Kevin.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for being here. Ken, you got anything else you want to say before we go?
Just good luck, and we'll get the word out.
Thank you.
That's the most important thing.
Communication.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Absolutely. And do
Tommy,
we have
thank
anything
you.
scheduled for tomorrow yet? Are you surprising me with anybody yet tomorrow?
We get up and get here by 8:00 tomorrow.
Oh, you're saying, hey, I was here in plenty of time today.
Oh, we'll see.
What? I wasn't as early as I was yesterday. I will say that.
Yeah, yesterday was world's record
Yes,
so far.
so far.
You're a work in progress.
Yes.
I'm doing the best I can.
Listen, I'm incredibly early for my 4 p.m. today. So, you know,
True.
that's
True.
it
No,
is
it's
what it
been
is.
great, really. Thank you guys for coming.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thank you for having
Thank
us.
you for having
Thank
us.
you.
No
Thank
problem.
you
Thanks
all.
for letting us know about this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Tommy, thank you.
Why not? You know, there's a lot more things to come on the horizon
Oh,
with
that's
this.
how it works.
I can see it getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
I don't think the gazebo will be big enough, really. I think it'll be
Yeah.
a stage. In fact, I would suggest that you talk to Casual Cook, because Caswell has got a lot of experience. He's got some great connections,
Awesome.
and he can help, and he will. Caswell's that type of nature that he will help.
Awesome.
He's a good guy.
Yes.
And his
Yeah.
birthday
Caswell.
was yesterday.
His birthday,
His birthday was yesterday.
Yeah.
Oh,
His
happy
birthday was
birthday.
yesterday.
Happy birthday, Caswell. That's awesome.
I made him I used AI to make him a 5th member of the Beatles.
I know I saw that.
Yeah, well, it's the only thing he's ever wanted in life, I think, really. So, just figured that would be good. Tommy,
So,
when is the Time Machine on? When can people tune in?
Time Machine is on WBLQ every Saturday, 10 o'clock. I'm on till 10 till 3 until the Cali Kid comes back. He's back on the 3rd of May. And he does, I've been doing 5 hours. He does 4 hours. But, the 5 hours just go like that.
Yeah. Well, when you're listening to the greatest music ever made,
Yeah.
it time flies.
Yeah. But
Awesome.
sometimes people will shout at me and they'll say, "Oh, you're playing too much of old stuff. How about some new stuff?" So then you start playing the new stuff, and then people say you're not playing enough old stuff. So
People say on the show The Time Machine, people say you're not playing enough new stuff.
Yeah. See, it's an age difference. That's what it is.
People, it's The Time Machine.
Mhm.
Do you still use the reverb?
Oh yes.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you guys so much for watching.
Thank you.
We'll see you tomorrow. I have an endless amount of things on the docket for today. So we got to end this. But thank you guys so much for being here. We'll see you all soon. Bye for now.
Night.
Bye.